And it turned out the reason I could never get abs was because I was just permanently bloated, which I hadn't even known was a thing. So I went through this for a number of years. The low-carb diet, I cut out rice because I realized that bothered me, but I was on something that was like apples, greens, root vegetables, but not potatoes, meat, and I was doing really, really well on that. And I stopped all my medication, and I stopped my antidepressants in November, and people in Canada know it's really dark in November, and if you're depressed, that's not when you stop medication, but I could tell the depression was gone. When you take antidepressants, you still know it's there. And it lifted, and I was like, whoa, I gotta get my dad on this because he has the same depression I have. So he went on it. And then we tried to reintroduce foods and did it just terribly. Like I said earlier, I was like, I might as well go out with a bang if I can't eat, anything again, sugar, anything. So I'd eat a whole pile of it, and then I started experiencing these horrific reactions, and I went to doctors, and I was saying, man, I think I'm allergic to soy. I think I'm allergic to almonds. I think I'm allergic to sugar. And they're going, well, it's not showing up on the skin test. And I was like, it's not an IgE allergy. It's something else. Something's happening. Do you look into, other types of antibodies or inflammatory reactions? No, those aren't real allergies. I was like, I reintroduced a whole bunch of food. My arthritis is back, my skin is breaking out, I have body odor, my gums are bleeding, my face is puffy, and I'm on the verge of hallucinating, and nothing is happening. You can see something happening. So I went to an immunologist the last time, February 2016, and then I just stopped. So I gave up with the food introductions, but I stuck with this low-carb diet, and everything was going great, and then I got pregnant. And then all my symptoms came back, which was really scary and really frustrating because when they leave and then they come back, it's just, and I'm sure a lot of people know about that, it is so scary. So they came back and I didn't know what to do for about a year, and I came across, I knew meat didn't bother me, and at that point I was eating meat and lettuce and pepper and salt and apple cider vinegar and olive oil. So I was like, the lettuce is keeping my vitamins alive. I need to keep this. And I came across Sean Baker on Joe Rogan, and he was saying, oh, I've been doing this for 2 years. And I was like, well, he's big and strong and looks healthy. Okay. So that night, I cut everything out. And I had transition symptoms just from dropping, lettuce, olive oil, and there was some turmeric there too. And I still went through transition symptoms. I'd been in ketosis for 3 years, so it had nothing to do with ketosis. It was something else. But about a week later, the itching stopped and the arthritis went away. And my digestion was just a disaster. And I was like, well, I guess it's a trade-off, right? I don't want the itching and the arthritis. My depression lifted in about 6 weeks. I wasn't happy, but I wasn't depressed, and that was good. My mom hopped on board really quickly in January. I was like, you want to give it a shot? She's like, sure. She's been vegetarian, she's done everything, so she's very open. She started that. And then I worked at my dad because he worked because he was literally just eating meat and greens, and he was waking up with horrible anxiety, and he was saying, this isn't working. And I was like, just drop the greens, every day till April, and eventually he was home and I could corner him. And
wait, that's not his version of that story.
Yeah, his version is not true. So he dropped the greens, and he said 3 days later, the horrible doomy feeling in the morning went away. 3 days.